And my father was like, "What job did you get?" And I'm like, "Working as a trek leader in the Himalayas." And my mom was like, "Where is Himalayas? Where do you have to go?" And I'm like, I had no clue how to explain them. I was like, "It's in Uttarakhand." Mom is like, "Where is Uttarakhand?" And I'm like, "It's in the north. I have to work in the mountains." And my dad was like, "No."
From Unboxing Stories, this is Himalayan Diaries. I'm your host Ojas. Today we are joined by Tirth, an outdoor instructor who believes in transformative power of the mountains. Tirth advocates for spending more time in the nature and less with screens and mobile phones, embracing the challenges and learning lessons the outdoors has to offer. With over 200 treks across Himalayas and Sahyadris and scaling the Kalavatin Durg more than 50 times, he brings a wealth of experience and insights. Tirth is here to share how mountains, a sport of endurance and strength, can shape your spirit and lead to a simpler, healthier life. Let's dive into his journey and learn how we can apply the gifts of the outdoors to our daily lives. Welcome, Tirth, to Himalayan Diaries, and thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Otis, for such a wonderful introduction. I don't think so I've ever heard that, but feels nice. So thank you so much for having me.
Tirth, what are the things that you would like to eat on a trek but you don't get to? Are there any such food items?
Ooh. Um, I think there are quite a few items that I would love to eat on a trek. Um, I am a very sweet tooth, so I love to have sweets like kaju katri and motichur laddus and all that stuff, which after a day or two it just gets ruined up, so you are not able to eat it properly. So that is something that I sometimes miss a lot. So as soon as I come to the nearby village, the first thing I do is run towards the shop, get some sweets, start eating till the time I reach the base camp, and I feel so good that I have come down, had my sweets, I'm done now. So that's how it is. Rest, I am very much happy with all the simple food that I get, because you don't find that culture, or you don't find such food, traditional foods that we find it in the mountains, which locals specially cook for ourselves. So it feels really nice, the warm food that you get in the cold mountains, and it just fulfills your like spirit kind of a thing, because even though you have two paratas, you are like, oh, this was the best paratha you ever had. So feels really nice.
Mhm, mhm. Can you describe yourself? So, according to you, who is Tirth?
Tirth basically is like the how my name is. It's like a temple in the mountains. The way temple does the work for the humans, the same way I want to do it for the humans as well. It's just that I'm just a medium in which you are being able to connect yourself with nature. I'm just there to guide you, to facilitate you, to show you a path. It depends on you, first, like completely whether which path do you want to select or not. But I'm just there to guide you, and that is what Tirth is basically. That's what the temple also does. It connects you to God. It tells you all about the rituals. It tells you about everything. It's up to you whether you want to do it or not. But then it's there. It's a place where you get connected to God. The same way for me, the God is nature, and that is how I want people to be connected with nature. And yeah, that's how I see Tirth to be.
Wow, that is the most spiritual explanation of a person that I've heard.
I think it is what it is.
Mhm, mhm. And how was growing up? Where are you from?
So basically, I'm from Mumbai, but my roots are from Gujarat. My dad and my grandfather were from Gujarat. They had this small business back at home, and the place itself, where which is my native place, it's itself known as one of the most spiritual place for the Jain people. Basically, I'm a Jain, So it is known as one of the most spiritual place, and the place name is Palitana, and it's quite famous among the people who are very religious. And my roots are from there. So in the childhood, my dad used to take me to the temple, which is in Palitana, which is a small religious hike that we used to do it. And it is one of the most religious place that you can be, because the positive vibes or the energy that you get from the base of the mountain till the top is quite different than I've ever experienced anywhere else. So we used to go there. We used to hike up the mountain. There are different off routes. There are staircases, and we used to go barefoot. That is how the religious hikes are. There are certain what you can say rituals that you perform, in which the barefoot was one of them. And we used to start climbing. My dad used to tell me a lot of different stories while going up, and all related to how the Jain religion is, how the religions are, what all things happens in a religion, how we have to follow the religion. We used to climb up. All these stories used to make me wonder what all things are there in the world, how things are. We used to reach at the top. We used to do our puja, aarti, everything that we do it in a temple. We cannot eat food there, so we used to just drink water, spend the whole day up there, and then we used to come down. So that was one of the places which I very clearly remember about my childhood, which somewhat made me come closer to the outdoors or the nature. The second thing is my school. The school was like you wouldn't have seen a school like this anywhere else. It was exactly in the middle of the jungle. My school name was All Saints High School, and it got literally everything in the school. You name it. You name any sport, any adventure activities, dance, music, libraries, everything was there. So it really felt nice. And I've spent my childhood much more in the school rather than in my home, because I used to feel so connected in the school. I used to play a lot of different sports, skating, horse riding, swimming, football, cricket. I used to dance. I used to play drums, tablas. I used to sit in the libraries, everything. And the school was exactly in the middle of the jungle, so we had a different hikes also around. So the teachers used to take us for some hikes, and I think that is where my outdoor journey started. I never realized it though, but my outdoor journey started from that, and that is how my childhood has been. So yeah.
Uh-huh. The school sounds really nice. What was the name again?
My school name was All Saints High School. Also, it has one more bigger name than this, All Saints International Residential and Junior College School. That is how my school name was when I left the school. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I think I think your childhood has shaped you into being the outdoor, like being more in the outdoors and uh, learning more about the outdoors is what I feel.
Yeah, I would definitely agree to that, because I personally feel that childhood plays a very important role in shaping your whole life, and it literally speaks you. Like it literally speaks with you when you are older. It just says that whatever things you want to do it in childhood, whether you are able to do it now or not, a lot of things. You literally talk to your childhood self, just like we see in videos and stuff. We had our plans, and then we speak to them and we see where we are in this stage. That's how my childhood was. So it really feels nice.
Mhm. And then, like scaling the mountains or going for hikes, was it more of a spiritual journey when you started, or you just loved the outdoors when you were introduced to it in a spiritual way?
Um, I would say it was very much spiritual when I started going with my dad, because my dad is a very religious man, and he teaches what he preaches kind of guy. So whatever we used to go, and I used to love walking with my dad every time, because he used to have this bundles of stories about all these princesses, kings, demons, and everything. everything related to the mountains and everything. So it makes you intrigued about what more stories does your father has, and he never fails to amuse you. That's how it was. And my journey in the childhood, when I started going up on these mountains and all, it was very spiritual. It was all about a religious perspective. I never thought about career in outdoors, or there is something in outdoors. I used to just love it. And I feel more connected in the nature because there's this one thing that I have always observed myself, that I will sleep anywhere.
Mm.
And the best place I used to sleep was on the top of the mountain, and I used to sleep like a baby.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And speaking of uh, like stories from the mountains, now you have done so many treks in the Sahyadris, and Sahyadris are known for the stories and the history of the forts and mountains. How was that experience when you started exploring the Sahyadris and the forts?
Um, I would say that Sayadris have always brought out my wanderlust feeling. I hate that word though, but still, I would say it has brought out my wanderlust feeling because there is a lot to explore. There are a lot of unexplored places. It never fails to amuse you. It gives you that thrill. You can either hike in a day, at a night. It really doesn't matter. You have to take care of your safety, though. That is one of the top priorities that I always keep. But the Shadris have immense knowledge and information about how the Maharashtra or the whole Konkan area was, and till now, how the forts are still secured. When you visit these forts, you feel like there is so much of history, there is so much of presence of people that was around, and still the local carry it forward. But I have always felt there is not much knowledge or information among the locals as well, because they know about the past, but they don't know properly. So sometimes you have to go through the books, sometimes you have to go through a lot of different reading particles. But I am a person who always prefer to know stories from someone else who already know. So I used to go to these villages. I used to talk to the people about the culture, about the forts and everything. And there was always some or the other guy who would know a lot about that place. And we used to sit there for hours, just keep asking them questions, just keep gathering all this knowledge and everything. And that is one of the places where I've hiked the most. That is Kalavatin Durg, because I have learned so much from that place. It just keeps calling me, and that place is accessible to a lot of different cities. You can literally cross and go through the mountains and reach another city in just a day or two. So everything is connected from that area. So I really love that place.
Mhm. I personally have done quite a few treks in the Sahyadris as well. Not as much as
Yeah.
you, but whenever I I was doing treks before as well, but after I read a few books about the Maratha history, the
Yeah.
Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and after that, when I visit the forts, the mountains, it brings a completely change of perspective. You can just imagine how it would have been in those times. So that is a unique perspective or unique experience, I think I can say, that the Sahyadris offer.
Yeah. I would completely agree to that.
And from moving from Sahyadris to the Himalayas, do you remember the first time you saw the Himalayas and how was that experience?
Um, I definitely remember this because that particular journey made a lot of bonds in my life, and it gave me a lot of different perspective about how the life is. Because Himalayas is a place where you trek for literally more than 3 4 days that we do it in the Shayadris. Shayadris mostly people go just for like 2 or 3 days maximum, but Himalayas where the option becomes open, you trek for more than 4 days, and you spend a good amount of time with the people around you. So you tend to create this small little cute bond in the mountains, and these bonds are very pure that I have. What you can say that I've believed in, because everyone tries to bring their best self, a true self, but in the cities it doesn't work that way. So my first trek that I had it in the Himalayas was Kedarkantha, one of the most famous, very famous treks of the winters. And at that point, I was very naive. I just knew few treks around Shayadris, and someone just few of my friends, my childhood friends, they were like, "We are planning to go for Kedarkantha in Himalayas. Do you want to join?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, that sounds really good. I literally want to join you guys, but my parents won't allow me." So then it took me at least a month to convince them. My friends came at my place. My sister helped me to convince my family that he's going for a trek. He'll be out of network for 4 days. And that was something my parents were not okay with. The child being out of network for 4 days, he won't be able to contact. And I had this huge fight at home that I really want to go. I really want to see what the Himalayas are, and every of my friends are going. I also want to go. And then finally, parents being parents, they agreed. I was crying, I was shouting, so they agreed finally. And the first instance that I had was that what Himalayas would give. Will I be able to survive the cold? I was reading a lot at that point, and I asked a lot of people about Himalayas. Very less people knew it at that point about the Himalayas. But the way they told me that it will be very cold, you won't be able to breathe properly, you will be face problems and all that stuff. And I was like, and I was pretty scared. And I was trying to make my friends also scared a bit, and we all literally paid the money, and then we were like, we'll just do it together, doesn't really matter, we all are together, we'll just go it, we'll enjoy. And we were like, okay, sounds good. And that is how my first Himalayan journey actually started. It was quite funny because all of my friends, no one from the trekking background, no one knew anything about it, and we just booked it. We were like, let's give it a try. And on the train, we met a lot of different people who have already trekked before, who have already done quite a few treks, who are experienced, who are knowledgeable. And then we met our trek leaders as well, who were quite, that we always look forward to the trek leaders because they are the one who's going to protect us. So we all were just like the babies of the trek leader, and we were just looking forward to them that these people are there, we'll be very safe. And that's what happened in the whole trek. We were quite safe, we were quite energetic, we had a lot of fun, and the feeling of seeing that sunrise from the top of the mountain was something that I would never forget. That first race, you have been in the cold, harsh climate, started walking from 12:30 at the night, slowly walking with your friends, having a soup, having some chocolate bars, not carrying much weight because you know that you won't be able to. Then the water is freezing, you have to wait for hot water to be filled inside, sipping it slow and steady. You're taking that small steps, going to each and every campsite, each and every base. Everyone is just pushing each other, everyone's helping each other. But after a point, there is a situation, or there is an instance where you are just alone. No one is there around you because half of the people have left behind, half of the people is ahead, and you are just alone walking on the mountain. People will keep passing by, or people will keep falling down, and they will still push you that keep going, you're doing good. Yes, the summit is right there, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 meters, that's it, keep going. And this all words at 3:30 or 4 in the morning when you are walking, it gives you so much of warmthness, it gives you so much of push, and you really don't want to stop there. You know that exactly if you stop, that's it. You won't be
Mhm.
able to gather yourself again. So you just keep going on, and suddenly you see a lot of people on the summit, and you just reach there, and three or four friends come towards you. They just hold you, and they're like, finally, we all made it. And that feeling, you literally forget your last 6 hours of tiredness. You forget you are exhausted, you are drained out, you are hungry, you don't need water. You just did it. That's it.
Mhm.
And now you are all energetic, you are all normal, you don't care about anything else, and you are just waiting there with your friends just for that first sunrise or the first rays to hit all of you. And that moment, oh my God. I don't think so I can ever forget this moment. I was crying. I was hugging my friends. At some point, I was just alone at one point, just sitting there and just watching the sunrise, just watching around the ranges. And that made me feel that this is something that I want to keep doing it again and again. And I think the Himalaya journey started from that point, I would say.
Mhm. Mhm. I think the first experiences are always special and you remember them like for the lifetime because even I remember my first trek, it was Brigu Lake in Manali,
Yeah.
and just when we were reaching the lake, it started snow started and the weather was
Oh,
getting bad, and the trek leaders and everyone, they were like, yeah, we have to hurry, we have to go down quickly, but the experience was so good. And I remember one of, one of my friends, he was wearing running shoes because it was our
oh
first. We had
no.
no idea of how a Himalayan trek is. And while
Oh shit.
coming down, he was falling so many times, so many times. And we were picking him up. Even when the snow ended, the normal portion started. There also it because
Yeah.
there was rain and snow, it got muddy and he was falling again and again.
Oh, I swear. That is a treat for your eyes. Okay. Your friends falling, it's treat for your eyes. You would give up anything in the world just to see that happening. And the first instance will be just laugh and just fall down instead of helping that guy. And whoa, I love that moment is precious. Okay. That is just stuck in your mind. Moment is precious.
And this journey, what inspired you more to keep doing trekking? The journey, the views at the top, or the feeling of completing something? Because everyone has a different perspective or motive for a trek. What was your thing that you found out that, yeah, this is something that I want to do?
I would say a mixture of everything that you just said. It was a sense of responsibility.
Mhm.
It was the feeling of being with nature as one. It was the journey with all the people, all the friends that I was around with. It was definitely also the views, because when you get that views, you are just like you want to stay there, but the mountains just tells you, not now, come afterwards again. I'm still here, kind of feeling.
Mhm.
And I think a bit pieces of everything combines together to give you that much more higher feeling of being in the mountains. And that was for me. I had great friends. I still have great friends who I love to do treks with. I keep asking them, let's go for the treks, let's go here and there. But I'm a bit introvert as well. So I'm more like a person who loves to be face to face rather than being on the phone. So I become a bit hesitant as well, but I'm trying to uh, change a bit of perspective of myself as well. The sense of being with yourself in the mountains and surviving. That is something that people usually forget, being yourself. And that is what always the mountains have taught me, that always be yourself wherever you are. It's okay that people don't like you. It's okay that people might judge you, but you be yourself, because in the end of the day, you are with yourself. You are who you are, and you have to stay with yourself forever. So that is something that I always feel like doing it, and I keep following what mountains have taught me.
Do you think this humbleness, and as you mentioned earlier as well, that people on a trek or people on a hike, especially in the Himalayas, they are the true self of themselves. And you said right now as well that it brings the true nature of yourself. Do you think this comes because a sense of fear that you are out there and it's just nature and you, and nature is very powerful and it can be very dangerous as well? Does it come from out of fear, or does it come from just just the place that you are in?
Hmm. That's a very difficult question to answer, because I'm just my people. I can answer you on behalf of myself and whatever I have observed.
Mhm.
Uh, the nature is a place which is our roots, which is the beginning of time, which is something from where every single living organisms have come up with and have spent their time with. Our past or the ancestors have lived in nature, and then we have come up with the cities. But the cities itself are nature. It's just something we have built it on top of the nature, but everything around us is nature. So whenever people are in the mountains, we are at our very simplest form. We are not, it doesn't come by fear, it doesn't come by any kind of pressure from the nature that no, you have to be true yourself, otherwise you won't be able to survive. No, I don't think so. It's purely because you are excited, in again connecting with your roots. You are um, you are in the present. You are not thinking much about your past, about your future, but you are trying to live in the moment. And that's what makes you become your true self. That's what helps you to achieve what you truly are. And nature wants to see yourself like that way, because it loves to be with your true self rather than with someone who is just mimicking every other person around you. We usually develop our habits with the people. We usually develop all our behavioral pattern from the people around us. So if we like someone's behavioral pattern, we will try to absorb it and try to make it our own. But at some point, we know by ourselves that we are not that person, or we don't have that behavior. We are very patient people. We are just trying to be impatient because the city life is fast. But in nature, everything calms you down, everything slows you down, everything makes you what truly you are. And I would say the nature brings the best out of you. Even sometimes we see the worst of people in nature, but that is their best self. And that is what I've learned. Accept people for whom they really are, even though for you it's best or the worst, doesn't really matter. They are who they are, and you accept them. That is how the nature does to everyone. So yeah, I don't think so it's fear. It's purely the simplest form that we come up with. We become a baby. I just feel so being simple when I'm outside. Nowadays I'm doing the same when I'm in cities as well. I just try to live very simple. I don't like much fancy things. So I just try to have some good sleep, lovely amazing food. I keep having food. I love food. So that is something I do. Work on yourself. Sit idle for some time, read some book, scroll Instagram. That's fine. I never say no to phones, because phone is something that which makes you connect right now. So that is very natural. But know your limits. Know your limits into everything, whether it comes to sleep, food, phone, fitness. Know your limits, because that is very important. Doing anything in excessive will definitely harm you at some or the other point. So do everything, be chill, be calm, be fun, be energetic, have fun in your life. That's what it is.
And these points that you are suggesting right now, do you suggest the same things for your group of group when you are leading a trek? And I want to know how you got into trek leading, because doing trek
Um,
is a different
yeah.
thing as a trekker, but becoming a trek leader and getting into that field is a completely change in the way you do trekking.
Definitely. First thing to become a trek leader is be a trekker. That is something you should know about what a trekker feels, how the trekker comes to the trek, what difficulties is faced mentally, physically, spiritually. But till the time you are not a trekker, you would never become a good trek leader. And that is how my journey has been. So I was a trekker. I have seen trek leaders. And then later on, when I got this opportunity from India Hikes in 2020, after as soon as the COVID ended, um, I was like, let's just take it. And everything just went, keep on going on. I didn't inform my parents. I didn't inform my sister. No one knew exactly what I was doing. I was just working in an office, and suddenly I got this opportunity. I clicked. I sent videos. I sent resume, just like a normal corporate person would do when he's going for a new job. And I did everything, but I didn't want it to jinx it. Nowadays, it is very common. No one will tell you anything till the time they have achieved it because no one wants to jinx it. So the same feeling was mine. I didn't want it to. So I just kept doing all this interviews and all that stuff. And suddenly I got this mail after 10 days that you have been selected. Uh, your training is going to start now. First, it's going to be online, just like a COVID thing. Just like training, you will teach you about the normal theory things about the mountains on the meetings, and then November 26th, you have to report on the base camp in Lohajang in Uttarakhand. And I was like, okay, now this is going very fast because it was November 6th when I got that mail. November 10th, my theory starts. November 26th, I have to reach Uttarakhand. And I had no clue how I'm going to tell everyone. And at one point at night, me, my parents, my sister, we used to play cards. Like it was the lockdown thing, just to keep ourselves motivated through that tough times. So we used to play cards, and suddenly I was like, I wanted to tell you guys something, and they were like, "What?" And I'm like, "I got a job," and they're like, "You already have one. Why you want another job?" And I was quite confused at that point because my sister was also looking at me just like, why haven't you tell me about this till now that you have applied? Because I used to tell my sister everything. So I
Mhm.
was like, wait. Just keep supporting. Wait. You have that eye contact with your
Yeah,
siblings.
yeah.
Wait. And I was like, okay. And my father was like, what job did you get? And I'm like, working as a trek leader in the Himalayas. And my mom was like, where is Himalayas? Where do you have to go? And I'm like, I had no clue how to explain them. I was like, it's in Uttarakhand. Mom is like, where is Uttarakhand? And I'm like, it's in the north. I have to work in the mountains. And my dad was like, no, that's it. No. And I'm like, please, this is the first time I got something like this. I was at that point, I was doing freelancing in Shayadris. I used to go on weekends and stuff, but leaving the family and going in the mountains, I think it's one of the difficult things that I have ever took the decision. And it was much more difficult for my parents to let me go. And I told them everything, what happened, how I did my interviews. I was sitting right in my father's office when I was giving the interviews because my father went outside. I had my interview date and schedule at that point so that I can do it.
Mhm.
And my father had no clue about it, nothing, nada. And then I told them everything. This happened. I was doing this. I got an opportunity. They called me there. They want me on 26th November. They are gonna train me about everything, and then I'm gonna start leading treks. I'm gonna take care of people. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. They are gonna send me to different places. And the only thing my dad was, you just want to roam around. And I was like, I have no clue now how to explain more about this because being from a Gujarati family, it's very hard to explain them about something that no one in the entire family has ever done.
Mhm.
And I am the first one of the kids who has trying to make his own career, or he's trying to choose his own path rather than going in the family business. And they all were very skeptical. They are like, how will you live? You don't even know how to cook. You don't even know how to take care of yourself, just like being a normal mom and dad. You
Mhm.
don't know how to, you just keep forgetting things, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I will. Let me learn. Let me see. And they are like, okay, we'll give you 6 months.
Mhm.
Try. And then you have to come back to the business. And I'm like, okay, let's take it small steps at a time. I don't want to give a big burden on them. I was like, okay, give me 6 months. I joined India Hikes. They trained me as an assistant track leader first. They trained me about everything. And at that point, the training system was very new because we were the first batch of 6 people who have come there for the trainings. They never had such trainings before.
Mhm.
So after ours, different groups and different people joined. The training become much more modern, advanced, and very different than what we faced at that point. We literally were on the endurance, strength training, and everything. Nowadays, they have that too. At the same time, they have theory and everything. So coming back, as soon as I reach on the campsite, I was like, I met few people. Instantly, we connected. Instantly, we started talking, and later on, the journey started as a trek leader. I think after 2 treks, I became a trek leader because there were a lot of treks. People were getting. It's very common for in winters for the trek leaders to also face the difficulty of not getting a medical condition, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
So some people were sick, so we had to step in. We were leading the treks, and I became sick, and I was very much negative that if I go back now at home, they
Mhm.
will be like, "It was not your taste. You come back, join the business," and I didn't wanted to do that, and it was a bit tough time. But then I overcome through it. I started working again. I went back home for a month, got recovered, came back in the mountains again, and started working. Since then, it has been a wonderful as being a trek leader. I love the journey. I loved my groups. I love my teams. I love the people that came along. I met them. I learned so many things from them. It was magical. And the things I've learned by being in the mountains are something that I never want to forget, and I think I would never will be. So that is how my journey has been.
Mhm. You were telling your journey, I instantly connected to the movie Laksh. Have you seen Laksh?
Yeah,
It's similar.
yeah,
His father has a business and he tells Hrithik Roshan that, no, how can you leave the business and do something different, completely different? And exactly like you said, he comes back because the training is very tough. In your case, it was because
yeah,
you were sick, but and then he goes back and then he just does his best at that place.
yeah. One of my favorite movies in the travel kind of a journey, what Laksh has. One of my favorite movies, I would say. I've watched it a couple of times because I got so inspired by it. I was
Hmm.
like, this is something that people should do it for themselves. They should step out. And I was like, let's see. But now I'm recalling again the Lux because it's been a long time. Now it just feels like I want to watch it again. I'm like, tonight.
Yeah, it's one of those movies which is evergreen kind of category. The shelf life
Yeah,
is very long.
I agree.
And what were some of your not so good experiences as a trek leader? Were there any groups or people who were just really annoying and you were like, ah, I just hope this trek ends quickly?
Uh, I okay. On top of my head, I was leading this Sandakpur trek. Okay, and there was these two particular groups that have been made inside the whole team. One was Maharashtrians, one was South Indians.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the 2 days passed. Everything was going well. It's a 6 day trek. Everything was going well. Mingling, everyone was listening. Everything was going. Suddenly, I think on third day evening, uh, the whole group of South Indians, they on the till the time we were reaching the campsite, they come to me and they are like, "Tirth, we don't feel comfortable." I'm like, "What happened?" They're like, "This Maharashtrian people are uh, creating a fuss. They are making comments on us, on our things, the how we are doing things." And I'm like, "Okay, do you want me to talk to them?" They are like,
Mm.
"No, no, no. We just want you to inform." I'm like, "Okay, comment back, comment back on this. Be normal." And they are like, "Okay, we just wanted you to know. That's all." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Third day went okay. I forgot about it. Fourth day, we were walking. We were reaching our campsite, one of the campsites. At that point, on the way, they had this small bickering going on behind. So the guide came towards me and he's like, uh, "Tirth, can you just stop?" I'm like, "Okay, what happened?" And he's like, "वो झगड़ रहे पीछे." क्या हो गया मालूम नहीं, झगड़ रहे. And I'm like, कौन झगड़ रहे? अरे वही साउथ इंडियन और महाराष्ट्रियन लोग. I'm like, क्या हो गया क्या? कि मतलब what happened? And he was like, "I don't know, just come and check." And I'm like, okay. I went there and the South Indian guys, they were like, uh, these people are again started. We told you last night, Tirth, and these people started again. And the Mauritian guys are laughing, okay? They are laughing. And it made me laugh as well. Okay. If people are laughing around you, I just laugh. So I was like, okay. And I'm like, what they are saying. So they are just mimicking my our the way of speaking kind of a thing. And
Mhm.
I'm like, that's a good thing. They are fond of you. That's why they are mimicking you. They love you guys. And the Maharashtrian guys started laughing again. And I'm like, I said something in Marathi and they got offended now. I was just trying to balance it out.
Mm.
And they got a bit offended. They're like, Tirth, you cannot do this. And I'm like, I'm from Maharashtra. I
Mm.
know Marathi and I can. And no one told me not to.
Mm.
And after a point, as soon as we reached the campsite, it became a bit annoying. So I wanted both of the groups to sit down and talk. So, and that was one of the most uh, stupid decision I made. Okay, stupid decision.
Mhm.
One of the stupid decision because I had one more day and I forgot of seeing that day, how that day would be if this doesn't go well. And I made them sit near the heater. It was cold. They both were on the opposite directions. It was a proper sitting thing. And I was like, now, you guys, please, we are a team. You have to work together. So you have to come up with some solution that you guys will be able to manage yourself. They were good with teamwork. They were good with everything. It's just the Mauritian guys were young. Okay, they were around 21 to 25. The South Indian guys were 40 to 45.
Oh.
So there was an age gap. There was difference about their thinking and perspective. These people thought they were just having fun with them. These people thought they are trying to just be rude.
Mhm.
And the meeting went haywire. And the next day, you should see me running down till Gurdum. I was like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm running down. If you want to stay with me, you have to come with me.
Mhm.
And that day was one of the fastest day I completed on Gurdum. The evening was a bit pleasant. Everyone came down. Everyone was like, "Tirth, what happened? Why were you running? Why were you not there with us?" The same thing happened with the other groups also. They also asked me the same. And I'm like, if you guys keep fighting this way, you have to understand each other's perspective. You have to understand these people are young, these people are not that. You have to understand each other. I have to make them sit on the different side, talk to them about it, make them understand what the other person is expecting, make them understand. Just like a judge, I was there
Mm.
trying to convince both the parties that you both are not wrong, but you have to understand the other people are also not wrong. It's difference in the age criteria. Once I've done, I was like, I don't think so. This is gonna happen, but I still did my best thing. Now I'm not gonna get okay with it. Later on, I have no clue what happened. I was sleeping. After 2 hours of sleep, I came down. I saw they are friends forever, kind of a feeling I got. And I'm like, what just happened? And they're like, we understood your point, but then this was something we will always remember fighting with these guys. So I think we keep fighting, but at the same time, we have come to a mutual understanding what our limits would be. And I'm like, okay. They kept on fighting the next time, but on a very positive note. I don't know how people do this. This was something crazy thing that ever happened. I got a bit annoying. I got irritated. I got frustrated. At some point, there was this feeling that I want this thing to be ending. But once I saw that thing in Gurdum, I was like, why you guys were not there in all? We would have had blast. But it is what the thing is in life. Whenever you expect something, it doesn't go the way you always expect. There are always curves, there are always turns, but you know that this curves or turns are gonna be very interesting curves of your life. And that's what that happened on my trek. We came down, we had fun, we had talks. They keep bothering me yet. They keep messaging. I think last 1.5 year before the South Indian guys messaged that these Maharashtrian guys are still making fun of us. They send us videos about, and I'm like, the trek is over. I'm not your mommy anymore. Don't tell me this. I'm not gonna fight over you guys. And they were like, see this. This is the video. They actually shared it on Instagram, and they literally, the Mauritian guy literally posted this
Mm.
from the South Indian people, the accent and everything, and it was so funny. I will shit, it was so funny. I laughed the hell out of it. I was like, this is something to be put on the meme level, and I was like, so yeah. It's just that even though if it is annoying or irritating, the treks are fun. They are literally the most unpredictable things that
Mm.
can ever happen to someone. And the way I predicted it didn't happen, but I was happy in the end. That a bit annoyed also, but I was happy in the end that it went well. Everything was good, and they enjoyed, and I enjoyed a lot about all this mimicking and stuff. It's fun for a trek leader. It's really fun. It's like keep fighting. I'm enjoying. I'm just gonna have my cup of tea, fight. That is how it is. So yeah,
I don't have Netflix here for 7 days. I don't have any entertainment. You guys are my
you
entertainment.
just keep, yeah. Show me your emotions. Show me your fights. I am just sitting like a Maharaja here, and I'm just gonna watch you guys do your stuff. That is what I am hired for. So yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
a really nice track.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Talking about learning from the mountains, the incident that you mentioned, it's like a conflict resolution training that you had that you won't get anywhere in the world. In the hardships of
No,
mountains in difficult terrain, you are resolving a conflict.
I swear. Yeah. Instead of taking them from point A to B or making their safety health top priority, I was doing conflict resolution. So I was like, very nice. You entered the corporate world. Welcome back.
And people just don't realize that. because I've also been on one trek where there was some small fight between two groups, and the me and my
Yeah,
friend, we were it was a campsite, and there was a slope there, and me and a couple of my friends, we were sitting there just having the tea and everything, and near the
yeah.
tents people were fighting, and we were like, wow, what a view. Mountains in the background, fight at the campsite.
Yeah. What else do you want in life? The film is right exactly in front of you. The things that you see in the movies is going right in front of you. Two fights, good view, good chai. What else do you want in life? And your friends around you. That's it. See, that's what the true self comes in this, because most of the time the nature is helping you to become your true self, but then you are quite hesitant that what if I show you my this side and people don't like it.
Mm,
So they try to resist, but at the same time, they open up a bit. So they are not here, they are not there,
mm,
and then it becomes like a problem because they just need someone to help them out, to tell them, no, it's okay. Even though they don't like you, I'm here for you. And that's what usually happens because if a trek leader gets people more than 20, it becomes quite difficult for them to manage, to
mm,
create a bond, and to understand what perspective your trekkers have come to the trek. Because everyone had a different perspective. Someone wanted to run away from the city, someone wanted their peace time, someone had talked so much in the cities that they don't want to talk to anyone, someone had too much of corporate life, someone has stress, someone is emotionally depressed, someone has anxiety. A lot of problems are going in the world, and understanding the route, the very simple route, is what trek leader tries to do so that it can give you a better experience or a better living in the outdoors. So that you know that this 4 days you had it in the mountains, you got your peace, you got what you came for, and you go back with a fresh peace of mind rather than much more devastated because all this drama is going on. See, drama is very normal. Drama is something which keeps us going. Okay,
mm.
without drama, if people are just walking, it's no fun. To be very precise, no fun. I would say it personally. I don't like it when there is no drama in my group. I want the drama. If there is no drama, I will create a drama. Okay, just to make sure that there is entertainment going on.
Yeah.
That is how it should be.
Mm,
But you have to make sure that you contained.
mm,
You have to make sure that it is just an entertainment and you're not offending anyone because you don't know their background.
mm,
What if you call someone something and they get offended? It was just a fun for you. But for them, it is difficult because their background has been difficult. So, understanding everything in that starting 1.5 day and then
mm,
going through everyone and being with everyone is something that a trek leader wants to do. He wants that bond to happen. But then, when there are so many people coming and there are more than 20 people, it becomes very tough for a trek leader as well. And it becomes very exhausted. A trek leader, again, a superhuman in the mountain, but a human.
mm,
And he gets exhausted. He needs its time, he needs its space. He has left his family and friends just for the people. That's how a trek leader is. It looks very happening. This is something that I've always questioned myself in my career, and I still do sometimes. That what is more important? If I select the simple things, it involves my family and friends because they are the simple things in my life that keeps my life simple. But I want to make better lifestyle for the people. Now, this is something where I struggle a lot.
mm,
What is more important? If I select a medium, becoming a medium, I have to leave back my friends and family. I hardly meet them once a month or 6 months. Sometimes 6 months I didn't even meet them, or a year I didn't even meet them. So it's very hard for them, trek leader, to survive in the mountains without friends and family. So whatever people comes in their particular vicinity area, they try to create that bond. But After a point, they know that it's just for 4 days, it's just for 6 days. And it becomes very exhausting because every time there are new people, there are new challenges, there are new opportunities. They connect with people. Some people, they don't connect. They are human. They will connect, they will not connect. But it's very hard for them. And giving them a space of working in such a beautiful environment comes with a cost. And these people who keeps coming, they always try to find a bond with them. The people who are in the campsite as well, the trek leaders around us, um, it's just something that I've observed. Earlier, when I used to work, people used to love working in outdoors. People used to have that bond. Nowadays, what I've observed in outdoors also, they are bringing the competition,
Hmm.
which is not supposed to be there. It is the purest form. And if you bring competitions here within the people you're working, it's just another corporate world you're working in. But this time you are just ruining the experience of mountain. So all these things a trek leader has to fight, an outdoor instructor has to fight, and then on top of that, giving a better experience is something I hats off for them who keeps doing this. Uh, it's been a long time I've worked as a trek leader. So I remember that feeling of being a trek leader. I remember how it feels, what all things I've felt. And sometimes it scares me to again go back as a trek leader because I know that these things are going to come back. But then I'm like, I love it. I want to be there and I'm going to be there. I'll face anything that comes. Nature is with me. It's going to help me go through all these things again and I'm going to face it. And that is how every trek leader after that break comes back and goes back on it. And that's something crazy. There's one of my friend who has been working as a trek leader from past 4 years.
Mhm.
He hasn't left the job. He's still there. He got a promotion as a slope manager. Hats off to him. I told him a couple of times, come, let's work together. He's like, no, I'm very happy here. And definitely he is. And I would say when I met him, he was like a child. Didn't
Mhm.
care about the world, nothing, nada. Go on a trek, enjoy, come back, give them experience. That's how he was. When I see him now, he has grown so much in his life. He's still the same child, but he
Mhm.
has grown so much just being there, just being present.
Mhm.
And that's what I always look forward uh, in every outdoor leader, that you have to know your roots. You are still a child. Everyone is still a child. Bring that child out, and that child will guide you through everything. That's how it is. So,
I think you can write that on a t-shirt. Bring that child out. Uh,
yeah, I should start my merchandising. What do you say? We can do it together.
Definitely. If this podcast thing works out well, we'll start we'll start merchandise.
All
This
hopes high, always on the high hopes.
Yeah. That brings us to the end of another chapter from the Himalayan Diaries. You are listening to Tirth. We will unbox more stories from Tirth in another episode where he talks about his favorite trek and more experiences from the mountains. Until then, you can follow Tirth on Instagram. His profile is full of stories and pictures from mountains around the world. Thanks for joining us on Himalayan Diaries from Unboxing Stories. I'm your host Ojas. Together with Shivam Asurkar, we are the creators of Unboxing Stories. Remember, every step in the mountains tells a story, and we are here to bring them to you. If you are inspired to start your own trekking adventure, please remember that these are not just leisure activities, but true adventure sports. It's crucial to learn, prepare, and take all necessary safety measures before embarking on your journey. Your safety is as important as your adventure. If you have enjoyed this episode, do share it with your friends and family. Please make sure to follow us and leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast. Tune in next time as we continue to unbox more stories from the Himalayan Diaries. Until then, keep moving forward.